Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to make sure you know how to create and share a calendar in Outlook 365. Now the other day I created a zero-based calendar, and a previous video did that, and I did that by basically adding events to my default calendar. However, if you're already using your calendar, you might not want to do that. You might want to create a special new calendar just for your zero-based calendar, or just for your block scheduling calendar, or just for your spring term calendar. So I'm going to click on Add Calendar, and then there's a bunch of options up here, but what I'm going to do is just create a blank calendar. And you can call this whatever you want. It could be, if you're doing this for one of my class assignments, attendance activity, you can call it that. You can call it, zero-based calendar. I might call this my spring fitness calendar, something like that. And I'll give it a default color. I'll go with red, and doesn't really matter. Choose an icon if I want to. I'll give it this little, there's a little dumbbell or barbell on there. Great. And I'm going to add it to my calendars. That's cool. And save. I'm going to close out of that window there. And you'll notice that I now have my default calendar and my spring fitness calendar. Now, I've done this assignment in previous terms before, so let me point out a mistake I generally see from at least a few students. When you're creating your new calendar, you want to uncheck your default calendar, because what's happened is students will have both of these checked. They think they're creating calendar events in their new calendar, but they're really putting the events in their old calendar or their default calendar. Well, as part of the assignment, you're going to share your new calendar with me. So basically, the student has created events in their previous calendar. They share their new calendar. So when I get it, it looks blank, even though you probably did the work. So when you want to start adding events, deselect all calendars except the one you want to focus on. And you'll notice when I get rid of my default calendar, all my events go away. So let's see. I'm looking here at Monday, the 29th. I'm going to go ahead and create a little test event. And this will be a gym workout. Sure, that sounds good. And we'll do that from 12 to 1 p.m. And I'm just going to leave all the default options, so I'll click Save. So I now have that event in my new Spring Fitness calendar. Super. Now, in order to get credit for this, for those who are in my class, you're going to have to share this calendar with me. So what I'm going to do is click on those three little dots, more options, and I'm going to choose sharing and permissions for that new calendar. Go ahead and type in my CUCC address. There we go. So just my normal faculty email. Click that. And rig it, make sure it is set so that I can view all the details. For instance, there's options on here to view when you're busy. No, because that'll just show busy, busy, busy. I want to view all details. I do not need edit capabilities though. So once that's done, in fact, it's already set to that way, you can just click the share button and that'll be good. And then close it away. And you're pretty much done with that phase of the activity. But I want to show you what it looks like on my end. So I'm going to go to my Outlook email, and ultimately I'm going to get an email from Microsoft Outlook, from Outlook 365, that says you're invited to share this calendar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the little accept button up there, and then it thanks for a second, and then it's going to bring up your calendar right next to my calendar. Now I'm not on the right day here, so I'll advance over into, there we go, to that week, March 29th. And sure enough, I'm going to be able to see that shared calendar in my list. Plus, I'm going to see your events over there. And that's how I know that you successfully created a calendar and shared it with somebody else using Microsoft Exchange Server or the Outlook system. Excellent. So that's all it takes to create and share a calendar. I'm going to jump back over to my calendar there. And you can create new calendars as kind of experiments. You could have different calendars for family events, different calendars for just school events and things like that. And of course, if you display multiple calendars at the same time, you'll see all of those events together. So it is kind of smart to have multiple calendars that have distinctly different purposes. Thanks for hanging out with me.